Smashed it.
So now this is up, right?
Yep. You can have a sit down if you want. Won't make much difference other than you refill your flasks.
Oh, it refills the flasks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't bother with the attune magic. We'll deal with that later. Now, seems as we could have made that fight a lot easier.
Yeah.
But it made sense to let you have a try with the melee weapon first. Right, now we'll equip the Pyromancer's Glove, and you can try it on some of the little sprogs in the next room.
Okay. Do you do that?
Yep. So, yep. To be fair, you can put it in whichever slot you want, but bear in mind, if you put it in the shield one, you would put the shield away to get the glove out. Okay. So, press B again, and we'll test it. So you've got it out. Now, have you noticed the fireball picture is lit up now?
Yep.
So when you attack, you will now use that spell. If you have more than one spell, you could swap it by pressing up on the D-pad. Similar to how you can swap items by pressing down and left, right, etc.
Yeah.
Now you have 8 uses of it. I would recommend targeting and then doing it.
Yep.
Don't try and fucking no-scope it.
360.
Yeah, 360 no-scopes with a fireball in happening.
There's no enemies around here, is there?
There was... Or I might be misremembering. I thought there were some skinny dudes.
Somebody hitting me.
Now, there are some other items in this area, if you're bothered about picking them up. You've got to work your way around really carefully, but there are some in different places.
It sounds like somebody's shooting arrows at me.
I think there's one down there, down the slope and to the left. Just go real steady. So that is kind of like a bag of souls.
Okay.
So when you want more souls, you open the bag, takes them out, and it gets added to your number. By having it in the bag, when you die, you don't lose any of the ones in that bag, if you know what I mean. So it's like that's a pouch of 100 maybe.
Yeah.
Just be very careful running like that, because you can fall and die.
Yeah.
It doesn't have invisible walls. So I think you've got everything at this end. If you go up a little bit further, you'll find there is... I think there's the bird's nest up here. The little talkative birds. Somewhere around here. Yeah, that's them there, isn't it? Oh, I'm sure they're around here. There's a little set of bird's nests that if you stand near it, it starts yammering at you about stuff. Give us stuff, give us whatever. But
Pretend you're
don't worry about it, you ain't got anything to give them, so just head to the end and you'll be pretty good.
I don't remember this bit. I do remember this bit. This is the Bioshock Infinite bit.
Yeah.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Bioshock
You
Infinite.
would shit bricks.
Well, if you were dead.
I don't know.
To live
I think I'm
the
pretty sure I
undead
would.
asylum in pilgrimage.
I wasn't expecting a giant raven. I mean, I don't know whether you were when
the
you walked up
land
to the
of
top of the hill,
ancient
but...
lords.
You must have seen it.
Yeah, I suppose. The camera
Unless
angle.
it came out of nowhere.
Lordran.
Magic. So we're off to Lordran,
Right.
the land of the ancient lords. So the story for this game is incredibly in-depth, but it's all hard to find, very hidden.
Yeah.
A lot of it's contained in item descriptions.
Yeah.
So we're going to get dropped off in the Undead Berg. Well, just outside the Undead Berg.
Yeah.
At the Filing Shrine.
Convenient. So I don't know if I like that about this game. That's another one of my issues with it.
Mhm.
Is that it's not... There is a storyline, but if you're not asked about talking to people and reading stuff and that sort of thing...
You assume there isn't.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like I like a story where it's like, here's the story.
I mean, there is a story once you get further in. It's sort of a bit more overt. But
When I rest at one of them, does it replace my fireballs?
it replaces your fireballs, it replaces your flasks. It also resets all the enemies.
Okay.
So that's why it's you got to work out, can I get to the next bonfire with what I've got?
Well,
If you want more fireballs,
yeah.
I'll shut up for a second.
You
on this.
must be
Yeah.
a new arrival.
If I hit in...
Let me guess.
Not a good idea.
Of the
Okay.
undead, right? Well,
But if I did...
If you did, he will become aggressive and fight you to the death. When he's dead, he does not respawn.
When I'm dead, is he still pissed off that I hit him?
Well, since you're here,
Possibly.
let me help
Yes.
you.
There are ways to remove it.
Actually,
Right.
but it requires getting to one of those bells.
Up above in the undead church. The other is far.
The one above is about an hour and a half away at this point.
Well, you said that.
I mean,
If I didn't die.
if I was playing, I could maybe get there in about 35-40 minutes.
Right.
It's probably about an hour and a half, realistically, though.
Okay.
It is.
So don't hit him. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we play this long enough, there'll be a point where you're just going to kill him to get his stuff, because every NPC has something interesting that they drop.
Okay.
So before you go onto the New Game Plus version or whatever, you usually kill all the NPCs for everything. That's a player-placed one.
Yeah.
Some of those tend to be sex jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that one was, but there's lots where it's like...
sounded like a sex joke. Who dis? Can you swim?
It's not a great big puddle, it's just...
Alright.
Now, what really freaked me out the first time is, if you look under the floor there, you see there's doors.
Nope. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See the doors.
They open.
Every now and again?
Nope. No, a very specific point, and a large thing pops its head out. It was a bit weird the first time I came there, and then on reflection, playing it back, really freaked me out, because I was like, I've been stood literally inches above a drop, and underwater, and a monster, and oh, no. So, you're purposely running over it. It's lovely. Thank you. So
if... Right,
got a few choices.
It's
here.
not going to open, though, is
It's
it?
definitely not.
What if I might try and smash it?
Well, if you glitch through the floor, maybe, but it's not going to end well for you.
Alright, so I'm a pyromancer. Can I use my fire and water?
Can you... there's no situation where you will be submerged. You can be up to your ass in water and still use it. Don't hit this guy with it. Right,
Hello there.
this guy's a bit short with us to start with, but we can have a chat with him.
Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Now, one thing you have to remember about Dark Souls is talking to a character again does not give you the same dialogue.
Yeah.
I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace.
I really want to smash him in the edge.
It's for
It's
you.
so tempting.
His storyline is very interesting.
Oh,
He
you
isn't
again.
the nicest man,
I know.
but it's not really his fault.
How
He's a
about
bit of a
this?
coward, really.
I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles?
So,
Would that please you?
you may as well answer yes to this. There's no reason not to
Very
have the
well.
miracles.
Then first, a covenant with the gods.
So he's asking, would you like to join his covenant? Now, covenants are kind of like factions or guilds to join.
Yeah.
There isn't another one that's going to be available for a while, so it's not the worst thing in the world to join this one. Especially because it gives you access to some miracles. You probably won't use them.
Right. If I join the Covenant, right? So I join this one, later on I join another one, then come back, is he like, what the fuck?
He will be like, well, why did you leave? But he won't be aggressive. Certain covenants would be, but this one not.
Their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
So that's a very flowery way of saying, these spells will only work well if you have a reasonably high faith stat.
Right.
Now, just a quick thing here, right? You're a pyromancer.
Yep.
Pyromancy is a good set of magic for people who don't want to spend points on magic.
Right.
The reason being, pyromancy is gauged almost entirely off the level of your pyromancy glove.
Right.
Faith and miracles are based entirely on your faith stat, so you have to spend level up points to make yourself good at it.
Right.
There is also another kind of spell, more or less just called spells, which are a bit like arcane magic. So if you think back to D&D or the like, you have arcane magic, miracles, and pyromancy as a third type.
Yep.
So you can have a look what he's got, purchase some items. You'll see that most of these you won't be able to afford, but also probably won't be able to use. You can, you've got enough faith. See, the required parameters is 0 of whatever, but 12 faith.
Okay.
And you have enough for that. So if you wanted to have that spell, you could potentially have it.
What does it do?
Let's see. It displays more guidance from other worlds. Guidance facilitates communication between undead, but their value varies greatly. So, if you press blue, square. Oh, interesting. It doesn't say. So I believe Seek Guidance, it highlights things for you. It's not the most useful spell. The others are far better. So a Talisman, now that you're looking at, is the equivalent of a Pyromancer's Glove, but for miracles.
Right.
So you'd have to equip that to cast.
Replace it, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you can't cast that without one?
Exactly.
Okay.
You can equip the spell, but you can't cast it.
Yeah, what's that do?
You may as well do that. You now know how to shrug.
I did that anyway.
You did something similar, but now you can shrug on command.
Well, that's what I was doing. Right, so
Come
I'm
again.
leaving.
The effectiveness of the teachings.
Yeah, you're leaving.
I'm
just going to check what that phone call is about.
What's this that I'm doing?
You are swapping different items in your equipped item slot. I'd leave Estus flasks on. It may actually be worth
Oh, shit. How did I do the shrug?
I think you press select.
I can point down, point up, point forward, joy, bow, wave.
Yes, most NPCs have a single gesture that they can teach you.
Right.
My voice is going exceptionally quiet and all over the place because I'm searching the bedroom with my phone. Super professional.
Don't waste a moment. Every moment can become a comedic moment. Just
Exactly.
ahead.
He's not necessarily lying, but it might not be the best way to get to it.
Okay. Right, so how do I shrug again? Cause I
Do
thought
that
it was-
button again,
I
hit
thought it was
select.
Square.
And I hit select. No, square. Square was shrugging because you didn't have an item to use.
Okay.
So the response was, what do you need to do? What are you trying to do?
Okay. Right. Press select.
So you can, if you press Y now, you can switch which ones are in those 8 slots. So you can press Y and choose a different one. So that if they've got a red stamp, you've got it equipped.
I'm not going to be waving at anyone.
You might be joyful.
Might be joyful. So how do I use them then?
Hit select, press A on the one you want.
Alright.
What you doing?
Does that even work? Like, would people come?
It doesn't work on NPCs. It's mainly used to communicate with other people in the co-op or PvP, as it doesn't give you voice chat.
Okay.
So it's used to sort of do some very basic communication between people. Now, turns out it wasn't my phone.
Alright.
While we're here,
I don't know who that is.
right?
Get shit on scrub.
So you picked a direction, you started working your way towards it.
Yeah.
I would kill this guy and then test out your fireball on the guy at the back. Bait him over first, so you're not getting things thrown at you. But it's good to have a test so you know what you're doing with it. Timing. Wait for it to throw and then go under it. Right, so lock onto him now that he's come in. Right. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Right, try the other button. You're doing it there, but obviously there's an animation to it. Right.
Yeah, right.
So, pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, since we've had a bit of a kerfuffle here, run over, grab that item that's just there, and we'll head back, have a sit down, and start this section again with everything refreshed.
Alright. What? How does it know?
Steady.
Because he's going to knock me back.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But how did he know that I'd be there? Like, that seemed
They
a bit...
target like you do, so as long as you are moving, you won't get hit. If you stay still...
But I was moving? Like a dodge roll?
The dodge... The thing with this game is, dodge roll doesn't give you invincibility while dodging.
That's what happens in Guild Wars, though.
It does. That's not how this works. What it does is, it has invincibility frames, like frames of animation where you can take no damage,
Yeah.
but they're right in the middle of the roll.
Right.
And the aim of the roll isn't usually to give you those frames, it's usually to move out of the way of the attack.
Okay.
You're getting very good timing with that. The fact that you're able to pull it off consistently as well. Some people really struggle with it, with the flick and the attack at the same time. Now, you could always ignore him at the bottom.
Yeah, and just...
If you start up the stairs, I think you might even run over. So you could always come back and...
Wow. Oh, come on, I tried to dodge then. I was pressing fucking X all the time then.
So, remember you have a shield.
So this is just bollocks there, because how can you shield against the fucking fire?
Check your shield stats.
Shit, fucking game.
It might not absorb all of it, but it gives you extra stability while you're holding it up. And I think it absorbs about 65% of the damage. Just off the top of my head, it's something like that. Now, what went wrong there?
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Fucking blocking.
Now, you've got to be real careful with the lock on here.
Where's all those souls gone?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
This fucking game!
It was about 2,000 cells. Not very much, really. No,
Yeah.
boss will get you like 5 to 10,000 easy. These guys drop about 100 per kill, so it's not a huge amount. Maybe should have spent them up before we set off, but it's not a big deal. Right, so you do realise that the entire fight last time went wrong because of that lock on there.
Yeah.
So now you've got it this time. You've done it, haven't you? This is. Ooh. There you go.
Oh shit. Oh. It's not a normal button to press to eat something.
But you've successfully recovered. That's possibly better than your current weapon. It might be worth pulling back to make sure the fire bombs aren't going to hit you. But have a check. So go on, press your blue. Yep. And so it's 78 with minus 47. That's interesting. Why is it? Oh, that's why. Hover over the short sword again. I'll just do a quick explanation here. The reason it's a minus 47 is you are not currently meeting all the requirements.
Right.
You are below on the dexterity required. You see, it needs 10 and you have 9.
Alright.
So once you reach that, it probably will be better than the hand axe.
Yeah, but just keep your hand out.
Hand axe for now. B. To take the menu off so you're not accidentally not hitting. Now remember, if you're running, just for a reference, and you tap dodge after the run, you will leap.
Okay.
So that's what happened when you got upstairs. You didn't roll, you ran and jumped. Okay. So if you want to roll, stop running, then press B.
Okay. I bet he gets more than 8.
Oh, he does. He has infinite. It might be worth holding the shield up and slowly advancing and trying to pull 1 or 2 down. Like kiting down the stairs. Maybe not even lock on. Maybe lock on when you're a bit further up. Obviously keep the shield facing the right way, but just remember that the camera will behave weirdly when you've locked on. So there is one to the left that started moving. I can hear him. Careful. The one that was down below you might have also started coming up. He hasn't. He stayed still. That's good. So now, there should only be one on the stairs, one throwing bombs, and another one on that ledge. So there'll be 3. 2 on the bottom, one that'll come down the staircase. I think only he throws fire there. The button. Right, you're firing uphill, so you maybe need to get a tiny bit closer. You can start the animation and move a bit closer as it goes off. There you go.
The bloodstains like...
Just to show you how somebody else died. Now, I think there's a guy on the other side of the stairs and a guy up the stairs. But I might be wrong. I thought there was more than that up here. Maybe you pulled him down. Must have pulled him down already. Don't move. Right, okay. Yeah. As you locked on then, and the camera spazzed, if you imagine if you had been moving at that point, it would have changed the direction of movement.
Yeah.
So that can get you killed a fair few times, to be fair. So very, very well done. There was a look then, that obviously the microphone can't capture, of why the fuck did you dodge roll on a ledge?
It's quicker.
Are
isn't it?
you insane? Remember, vertical is often better in small corridors. So we're getting there, getting on. So that's an example of one of the shortcuts you can open later.
Yeah.
You will eventually find your way around and open that gate.
So this is the place with the fucking dragon in it that comes out.
It's shortly. The dragon doesn't actually do anything there, unless you stood really close. Then it just kind of lands and hits you as it lands. Definitely getting the hang of this a little bit more. Firebombs, I think. Just be careful. Yeah. I was going to say, watch out for that beam. I think it's at just the right height that it might have missed. Good. You're budgeting them quite well, you know. Using them on tough enemies is a good way to get you through to the next area. Especially because we know when the next bonfire is in this case. Doing very well with the shield up. Yeah, dodge rolling is usually the best way of breaking barrels. Because it, one, it creates quite comical effects when the enemies ragdoll off it. Two, it doesn't waste any durability on the weapon, and it doesn't run the risk of breaking whatever's in the barrels.
Right.
I only mention because at a certain point there will be a man that you most definitely want on your side. He's the pyromancy trainer.
Okay.
And he is trapped in a set of barrels. And if you swing to break them, he aggroes on you.
Okay.
If you dodge roll into it, he's fine. That's back the way you just came. Now, there is something that you did spot going that way, or you can spot.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Now, that little ledge... Oh, that down there. That's interesting. Spin round. I'll just show you something else there. This will teach you to jump. If you look left a little, you see there's like a crack in the wall there.
Oh, yeah.
If you come back, if you run, and then tap dodge at the edge of the thing, you'll leap. Ooh. Okay, kind of works.
Fuck's sake, I keep doing that. It's just like the natural button.
You'll get used to it, though. So now you've ended up in a bit of an odd place, but you're now down where you saw that other thing that you were looking for. Just be careful, I think there's something behind you as well. Look quite impressive, though. Kind of very visceral axing of people. Careful with your stamina. Very close.
I couldn't fucking see because of that ladder.
Yeah. God, he grabbed you dead, didn't he? Jesus.
Is that enemy's back now? The enemies.
They are back.
Yeah. Fucking.
But
Fucker.
since we're here,
Stop.
let's see what we're on. What's the time we're on? About an hour. Although there was a relatively large break in that. So, what we should maybe do is, as a tail off, we'll get prepped for next week. Right? Don't go up there.
Okay.
Do a 180. We'll come back down. Be careful. Maybe spin the camera. Fucking. Oh my god. I'm surprised you aren't falling off something. We'll head to the graveyard and we'll do a quick run to get some interesting items.
Where's the graveyard?
So it's to the right, through the ruins, and then there's
To the left.
Yeah, it is actually to the left now. There's a door there on the left. Now, right. There we go. Now, this is a bit cheeky, not the stairs.
There's a thing there.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're going to get. Now, this graveyard has a lot of skeletons in that will continuously respawn. You kill them, they'll come back up.
Okay.
And there's necromancer doing it. There's no way you're going to get to him and kill him at your present level.
Right.
Right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go a bit further downstairs, drop off. You're going to run over to the edge, stop well before, so you don't accidentally fall off.
Yeah.
Quickly pick the item up, and then begin running back that way towards the next item. And we're going to try and pick up as many items as we can before dying.
Okay.
Because the items stay on you, and you don't have any souls to lose at this point, so it's not a big deal. Okay, just start running. Ignore them. Right, there's an item coming up on your left there, that next one. Ignore this one. Okay. Then you're carrying on further in. Take a right here. Not too sharp a right. Follow it around, keep right. That thing. Okay, right again. Keep going. There's another item just at the other side of that gravestone. Grab that and we can get out. Right, try and work your way past. Good, back up the stairs. Did it in one. That's most of the useful items from that little segment. They will continually chase you though, so make your way back to the bonfire and have a sit down and they'll reset. I don't think it's that way, but you know. You can run and jump over that if you needed to. Dodge roll through. You good?
What's that thing?
Right, that is bleed. If it reaches full, you take a huge chunk of damage in one go.
Okay.
So,
What?
there might be too many enemies nearby. Ah, they're all gone. That's fine. Okay.
Easy
So,
work.
easy. We'll do a quick leave and I'll show you what the new items are and then we'll save the rest for next week. So, check your inventory.
That.
Yeah, either or, doesn't matter. Right, so you've got 2 new weapons that you found.
Why?
Just have a look in one of the slots. Right, you've got a winged spear. So you currently can't use that. It requires 13 strength, 15 dex. And you've got a Zweihander, which I think requires a shitload more strength. 24 and 10.
Yeah.
So they're quite high level weapons in comparison to what you've got already, but they're quite strong. The winged spear especially.
Yeah.
Spear's quite cool because you keep shield up and attack.
Okay.
You can stab over the top, so that could be something to get.
Yeah.
You know, to focus on, do like a hoplite, so a shield spear combo, and then have fire for taking something big out, if that's what you fancy. Everything else you picked up, I believe there was some, like a bag of souls and, well, I think maybe
Was it
2 bags of souls. You picked 4 things up, but it's probably one of them souls of a lost and dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, possibly a large one. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got some spare souls, and maybe next time we start, we'll chug a couple of souls and get a level up.
Okay.
Before we do anything else. So, altogether, not too bad.
Yeah.